So now, to answer the ever-present question, if we don't use the genitive case of personal pronouns to show possession, how do we show possession with personal pronouns? Instead of using the pronoun forms themselves to express possession, we will be using the possessive adjective forms of the personal pronoun. What are the possessive adjectives? They are meus aum, which means my, tuus aum, which is your in the singular, noster, nostra, nostrum, which means our, and wester, westra, westrum, which means your in the plural. Each of these adjectives belongs to first and second declension, which means that it will use all of the same endings that you find on first and second declension nouns. And because it is an adjective, it will adhere to all of the same rules that we are learning about how adjectives describe nouns. They must have the same ending as the noun they are describing. If the noun that you are describing belongs to first or second declension, then the endings will likely look identical. If, however, the adjective is describing a noun that belongs to, say, third or fourth or fifth declension, then the endings will not look identical, but they will have the same case, the same gender, and the same number. Let's look at some examples. My mother loves your sister, Julia. To write my mother, I'm going to write mother in the nominative singular form because it is the subject of the sentence. Mother is a feminine noun, and so my adjective, my, meus aum, must also be written in the nominative and the feminine singular form to create mea, mater, as the subject. Your sister is the direct object of the sentence. Sister is a third declension noun, which is why when you see it in the Latin sentence sororem, it ends with em. Your ends with am because it is from first and second declension. So the endings do not look identical, but they are the same because both are accusative, and of course a sister is feminine. Mea mater tuam sorem amat, Julia. Students, your knowledge about Latin will be great by the end of this course, I hope. So your knowledge, your is describing knowledge. It's referring to the students, and so therefore when I use the form of your, I need to make sure I'm using the plural form. It's describing knowledge, which is a first declension feminine noun, scientia, scientia. It's where we get our word science. And so because they belong to the same declension, westra and scientia look as though they have identical endings. Discipuli, students, Vestra scientia, your knowledge, de lingua latina, magna erunt, about the Latin language, will be great. One final example, our parents will visit us soon. Our is describing parents. Parents is a third declension masculine or feminine noun. Remember, for third declension, it's the same, it's the subject. So parents is going to end in es, but noster, nostra, nostrum is from first and second declension, so the endings will not look the same. You'll notice that nostri is using the masculine nominative plural form. Even though parents can be both masculine and feminine, remember that in Latin, when the gender is unknown or mixed, as it would be here, the Latin relies on the masculine form of the pronoun or the adjective to refer to mixed or unknown gender. So that's why we're saying nostri parentes. And a bonus in this sentence, we have the accusative form of us, also in the sentence, nos. Mox, soon, nostri parentes, our parents, nos, us, visitabunt, will visit. So, how do we use the possessive form, or how do we show possession when we are working with personal pronouns? Instead of using the pronoun, we go to the possessive adjective. This is tricky because it has the word possessive in it, and yet we're not always writing it in the genitive case. It's an adjective, so it has to be written in the same form as the noun that it's describing. So what case it's written in is determined by the noun it's describing. And that is how we show possession with personal pronouns. Now, I want you to move forward and answer some questions about the objective genitive, the partitive genitive, and this use of the personal pronoun in sentences.